The tourism industry has widely praised the Cabinet's approval of recommendations to relax South Africa's new visa rules. But industry leaders say it will take a while before this sector recovers. The amendments included the fact that people traveling into South Africa will no longer be required to apply in person for their visas. The requirement as well of an unabridged birth certificate for children coming into the country has been lifted. Well, to discuss this and to get his reaction, we are joined in the studio now by David Frost. He's the CEO of the Southern African Tourism Services. David, good morning and thank you very much. Good news indeed for you?
Absolutely. You know, we're thrilled by the pronouncement on Friday. We're very happy with it.
Okay. Now, just to recap a little bit, what has changed here?
Well, essentially, the requirement that people in countries like China, India, Russia had to apply in person to have their biometrics captured has been done away with. Those will now be captured on ports of arrival, and this is going to be phased in. But the application process will be facilitated by accredited tourism agencies in those countries. So it will make the whole process smoother. People will be able to apply by post and not have to travel within those countries. And equally for countries where we didn't have a consular presence, for example, if you lived in Bogota in Colombia, you would have had to travel to Lima in Peru or Caracas in Venezuela. That has now been done away with. You can apply by post. So that's in terms of the biometric side of it. And then obviously, as in your intro, the unabridged birth certificates are no longer required for people.
If you live in Bogota, Colombia, besides the post, can you also apply via a travel agent, an accredited travel agent?
Well, I mean, I think there are sort of entities and agencies there that actually facilitate the process, so they would be able to assist you.
Okay. The numbers of incoming visitors in South Africa was beginning to look bad. They were declining, and there was a lot of debate in the public about it, and everybody giving different numbers. Of course, the tourism sector was affected, hence the government has seen that it needs to do something about it. How bad was the situation?
Well, the situation was particularly bad, particularly in certain key markets where the biometrics had an impact. We'd seen from June, July and August a 44% decline in number of children travelling into South Africa. But the good news is that we've moved away now. There's going to be a sort of a phased approach where Home Affairs and tourism officials have to sit down and work out the modalities. I mean, certain regulations have to be amended. They're in law. But we from the industry side are going to be patient. This will all be washed out, and we'll be able to look forward to clawing back some of the lost markets.
How patient are you going to be? I mean, do you want this to happen in the next month, in the next 6 months? I mean, remembering that we're coming into December holiday, and also next year is, we're coming into the season where it's many people try to come to South Africa. Especially, you have lots of foreign visitors around December in Cape Town.
Look, Dan, I mean, we've fought a long 16-month arduous campaign to try and get these rescinded. We're very comfortable with what Cabinet has come up with, and we will be patient because I think there is actually a desire to actually get these things sorted out now, and we'll be patient. But as soon as they are, we then and we'll be working closely with our Ministry and SA Tourism. We need a huge PR campaign to go back to say that South Africa's back. We're open for business. We've got a great exchange rate. We've got great USPs. And I'm very confident in the next 18 months we'll be able to get back to those positive growth rates we were enjoying up until August 2014.
So this is now really up to Home Affairs now to implement. And they're the ones who are very sticking to their guns around this issue because of child trafficking issues. But the Tourism Ministry has really opened up to you and has listened to you to say it is time to put up these recommendations, and thanks goodness Cabinet has approved them.
No, absolutely. But I think what we need to do now is to move forward together. I think when we look at the long haul success story in tourism over the last 30 years, it's Australia. They start off with what they want. They want tourism growth. They then say, what are the game changers we need to make that happen? And if one of those is visa and easing visa, they then busy themselves with that. I think unfortunately we started off with what we didn't want, and it led to a very reductive sort of standoffish debate. But I'm very confident that we can work together with Home Affairs as well as other agencies that impact on tourism and actually look at growing the sector as we have done over the last 15 years very successfully.
Okay, if you could wave a magic wand, by when would you like to see the situation sorted?
Well, we certainly within a month we'd like clarity on exactly what has been amended, so we can get that message out to our international partners. There is a pipeline in certain areas, I mean in terms of brochure production, etc. And the sooner we can start this, the sooner we can start putting runs back on the board.
How long do you think it will take for us to recover fully? Some of your colleagues, some of your peers are saying it's going to be a while. What does a while mean?
Well, I think there's a lot of stuff we can do tactically in the short term, particularly around the exchange rate and around value for money. We'll certainly be working with our national carrier. I think they're incredibly grateful that these things have been rescinded. Where we are in markets where we rely more on the traditional channel, which is where operators produce brochures, we would then look at a sort of an 18-month period in terms of fully clawing those sort of markets back. But look, I'm confident that this can be done. We're just grateful to get the monkey off our back, and we can actually get on with the business that we do, and that is selling our countries and selling it on the positives, not sort of wallowing on the negatives.
Thank you very much, David. Good luck with that clawing back. Things have changed now. David Frost is smiling this morning. He's the CEO of the Southern African Tourism Services Association.